Welcome into WagerTalk TV. I am Drew Martin, joined by Teddy Covers and Tony Mejia of WagerTalk.com. We're talking Big Ten championship football early, kicking us off on Saturday, 12 noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. We got Northwestern and Ohio State. Tony, we're seeing the Buckeyes minus 20.5 point favorites here. Just about 3 touchdown favorites, 57 being the total. What are you thinking here, Tony, with the Buckeyes versus the Wildcats?
Well, Drew, I just asked you and Teddy the number. My number was 19. I guess it's 20 and a half, 21. So I don't think that the line is that jacked up. And look, here's my angle on this game. It's Northwestern, who has played absolutely nobody. They led Rocky Lombardi and Aiden O'Connell throw for 2 scores against them, shut down Graham Mertz, Spencer Petras, Isaiah Williams threw for 86 yards last week after Brandon Peters could do squat in really inclement weather. And all those quarterbacks have two things in common. They're all starters for Big Ten teams outside of Williams, and they're all pretty terrible. So now you've got Northwestern trying to shut down Justin Fields, who's obviously not terrible, probably be the number 2 pick in this upcoming draft. He's got weapons in Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, who are going to make plays. And Northwestern secondary is pretty good. Greg Newsome II is one of the Big Ten's better cornerbacks. But how are they going to stop this collective unit that Ohio State brings to the table, knowing that the Buckeyes also need style points and knowing that this is going to be indoors at Lucas Oil Stadium? I just don't see Northwestern shutting them down. I don't think they're going to get enough offense. So 3 touchdowns sounds about right.
Yeah, Tony, I think I'm with you. And Teddy, interested in your opinion here. You know, the controlled atmosphere, fast track here. I think it helps the Buckeyes. Now, the ultimate equalizer, near 3 touchdowns here. What are you thinking in the Big Ten championship game?
So, I mean, last year these two teams played. Ohio State's minus 26.5. It's a 52-3 final. They played for the Big Ten title on this field, I believe, 2 years ago. 45-24, Ohio State with the win and cover. They were minus 16 in that ball game. But, and Tony made a great point about style points matter for the Buckeyes. If they get the chance, they will most assuredly punch in an extra touchdown or 2 or 3 if they can. But, and there has to be a but with this. All right. You look at that 45-24 final score in 2018, and you go, yeah, that game was 24-21 with like 2 minutes left in the third quarter before Ohio State pulled away. And maybe they do that here. Maybe the Northwestern defense wears down. Didn't happen the previous meeting. Ohio State was minus 26. This is 2016. And again, I'm not saying this team is that team, but 24-20 final, the Wildcats defense was able to do it, and they were able to do it for most of the game in 2018. So in 2 of the last 3 meetings, Northwestern's defense, Pat Fitzgerald's defense, has been able to contain the Ohio State playmakers for extended periods of time, you know. And with Pat Fitzgerald talking about that, we're probably 70-point underdog deal, you know, with the defense that admittedly they haven't faced Justin Fields yet. But I also saw Fields throw 3 picks in the only game against a good defense that he's faced this season and basically cost Ohio State backers the cover in that ball game. I wouldn't be surprised if Northwestern hangs around in here. Now, the Wildcats definitely correlate with the under. All right, if you like Northwestern plus the points, you're not expecting this to be a shootout, and I don't think they can cover the spread if Ohio State gets 45 or 50 points. So you may want to try to maximize your ROI if you like the Wildcats by a little 2-team parlay, Northwestern and the under.
Little parlay action. I like it, Teddy. And just kind of one follow-up here before we end it. You know, talking about style points for Ohio State, if they win and don't look good, were you alluding to maybe they would be left out or for seeding purposes? What were you thinking? Where were you going there besides just covering the spread?
Well, who knows what the committee is going to do at the end of, you know, funny things happen this weekend in terms of who gets in and who gets out and who gets left out, and Notre Dame and Clemson and the SEC could, who knows? I mean, maybe Tony's got a better feel on that than I do. But in general, when you're trying to ensure your place amongst the 4 teams without excessive controversy, you're trying to, you know, any touchdown you can get, you're going to put in.
It makes total sense.
I'm with that.
With the shorter. Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
I'm with Teddy in that who knows what the committee is going to think, because we've got an Ohio State team that they've already kind of bent the rules for. Yes, are they one of the top 4 most talented teams in America? Sure. Do they have a top 4 resume? Absolutely not. So, style points absolutely do matter here against Northwestern, because Northwestern is going to be the second best team that they've played outside of Indiana. And Indiana, they squeaked by. So if I'm Texas A&M, I'm sitting there hoping that Northwestern gives them a game. If I'm on the selection committee, I'm one of 12 people that they have, but I would say Ohio State's got to do a lot to impress me. Otherwise, I'm going Aggies, provided that Florida loses to Alabama, and I'm still going to get 2 SEC squads, and then the ACC winner with Clemson, Notre Dame, and obviously, the number 1 team in the country, Alabama.
Wow, could be a wild selection Sunday here, Teddy. Yeah, and in closing, go ahead, Teddy.
I was just saying, I mean, I think it's reasonable to think that there could be 2 ACC teams and 2 SEC teams, and that's the 4 teams who have played full seasons, and that's who the BCS goes with. So for a team like Ohio State, if they get the chance, I'm confident. That's why I say Northwestern correlates with under, because if Ohio State's going to pull ahead and smack this team around, the game's likely to go over the total. Because they're going to keep on punching in TDs. Every touchdown is going to count against Northwestern. Again, you look at the season-long numbers, and they rank top 10 in everything in defense. But Northwestern season hasn't exactly faced a whole lot of teams like Ohio State just yet.
Good stuff, guys. And I was just going to say, with the short sample size, it is really difficult, and wild things could happen here with selection, the selection committee. And it's just going to be a wild one to watch. I couldn't imagine, 2 SEC, 2 ACC, and a undefeated Big Ten and Pac-12 champion left out. That would be absolutely wild, Teddy. But good stuff from a betting perspective here, guys, in the Big Ten championship game from both Tony and Teddy. Check them out at WagerTalk and SportsMemo.com. And you guys see it there at the bottom, the scroll. $149. You get every single bowl game release from the handicapper of your choice at both websites, both SportsMemo and WagerTalk.com.